Wow. Good evening. Please stand by. America, the beautiful, the land of the brave. Making some order here. How are you? So, for now, I'm here alone. That's okay. See if anybody comes in. A little bit about me, in case you don't know me. I am Michael Anthony, and this is 10 O'Clock Talks, weekend review. Yes, every Friday night. So, let's see. We are live, I believe. I'm going to have to check it. Then we'll get started here. One way or another, doesn't matter. Sometimes uploads are just easier. Okay. Not everybody can run to the computer on a moment's notice either. Oh, the weather. Wow, tomorrow will be 87 in Pittsburgh. And no rain now. Interesting. Just for any of the Berganites out there, or Burgerettes. Some of them are looking like Burgerettes right now, honestly. All right, so they're calling for Saturday to be pretty nice. Sunday, maybe nice. Monday, and then we're going to get some clear days. Well, we'll see how that works out. I'm talking to myself. It's what I do. Oh, let me get this big strobe off out of my eyes. Yes, that comes with that. When you're diabetic, that comes with it. You know, I get the I don't know what you call I don't want to lose my peripheral vision. I like what I see on the sides. Some of it's unexplainable, but I like it. Okay, and I'm not trying to sound like some jagoff here. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know. I just happen to see things out of the corner of my eyes. Anyway, I'm guessing we're on live. I don't know who's all here, so I'm going to try to just figure that part out. I want to say hello to you. I am Michael Anthony. This is 10 O'Clock Talks. This is the weekend review coming live out of Pittsburgh tonight. Yes. Also now resident of Florida. Anyway, I hope everybody had a great day. I know the news wasn't that great. Not at all. And I got something I want to bring up that I think is pretty hilarious and get into a little of this and that, just where I'm finding things. Some things I was questioning in my own mind, to be honest with you. And I do question them. I do. I question things. So I hope all you beautiful people had a great day. I truly do. Where am I? Why can't I figure this out? Does your brain ever work slow and you can't even remember where, it's your phone it regurgitates where all your downloads apps are, I mean, mine are never in the same place twice. They just aren't. It's probably all this. Well, I see we're here. I see we have comments. I see we already have shares. Please slow down. No, thank you for the shares. I appreciate it. But, I think that's what causes some of the issues that occur. I know a couple other very large platform broadcasters that I finally had spoken to, and they told me that they're having that too. The more shares that they seem to get at times, that I guess maybe Facebook frowns on it. I don't know. I really don't know. And Lucy, I know I see you sent me 4 messages. We'll talk after I'm done. I always get back to you. You know I'm good for it. So I guess we got 5 on the eye right now. April, hello, how are you? Beth is on. Hello, Beth behind the glass. How are you? Denise Olson. Hello, Denise. How are you? Hello. Hi, everyone, to everybody back out there and around and about. And James, you're always here. My brother. Dude, I love you. All right, so listen. What is tonight about? Well, a lot of things. I don't know if any of you guys got wind of this. Let me put this thing on. I shouldn't even be doing this. I stopped and I start again, and it's like nuts. I don't even need it. Although I am quite concerned for a friend up here in Pittsburgh. This shit just brings people down in many ways. in many, many ways. I brought my coffee, and it's not even morning. Ran through the shower, put on some cologne. That's makeup. Yeah, wardrobe is whatever I could just pull out. I put on a heavier shirt. It's been cold all day in Pittsburgh. I mean, like, unusual weather cold, you know? But anyway, yeah, I guess you get. Hey, why is Walmart already coming out the last couple of weeks telling people they're going to be closed for Thanksgiving? What is that about? What is so important about this strange announcement that we need to know now? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm thinking in a way they're prepping our brains. I really believe that. I believe that. I believe that. Anyway, this Jeff Toobin. All right, I'm not one breaking stories here or nothing, okay? This guy worked for CNN. Some call it Communist Central or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And he's telling his story, okay? And he's actually being interviewed by a coworker. He worked at CNN for like 27 years. And here, this freaking asshole is jagging off and doesn't even excuse it. I'm telling you the way it is here. This is the Angry Thing segment Fridays now. True story. He's on Zoom and doesn't even know that they're watching him. He's like, I don't know, getting ready to like talk to other coworkers and so forth. And he gets fired for it, okay? Then he comes back on, he's asking for forgiveness and stuff, and evidently they hired him back. His name is Jeff Toobin. I think it is T-O-O, okay? Whatever that stands for. No, I know what it stands for. That's his name. But he was on a Zoom call, gets caught, and he's like, I went through a rough patch. I didn't know I was being watched. I didn't know that the Zoom was actually connected in. And, I mean, what the, really, I mean, this was like live between, I mean, come on. I'd be so fired. And who would want to watch that? No, I'm not going to ask that. I'm not going to ask that. But I mean, look this up. I just thought to myself, this is freaking hilarious. What is going on? And live video is already being flashed, just so you know. So if anybody's doing anything, please wait till after. As far as sharing, no shares. I know these are the rhythm things that we talk about that they do. That's been confirmed to me a couple times. But anyway, yeah, how do you like that story? It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And they brought him back. He's going to work. He's in therapy, and he claims he's doing really well, and he went through a rough patch. And wow, I mean, okay. Don't risk it. We're already being surveyed, right? And watched. I mean, it might show that the camera's off, but is it really on? You know what I'm saying? What do you believe? What do you believe now? It's just crazy. Okay, so now you got the winners in New York, and they've decided to have the biggest firework display ever. Let's waste more money on other things that don't take priority first. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't have done something. Okay, I know a lot of cities are going to try, and what they're claiming that the reason why a lot of the small suburban type firework displays and so forth all around the country, not just where I am, but all around, no one can get workers yet or train them to get them, and there's not enough people to go out and help every guy to set up. People need to know it's dangerous stuff. It really is. Beautiful, but dangerous. And again, what's this here? Apologies. I can't I don't know. All right, whatever. I don't know. I'll read that in a bit. Okay, so yeah, fireworks, biggest display ever. They should be paying for it out of their own pocket with all the money they embezzled. Near $500 million for the vets and people, with issues, so to speak, mental issues and so forth. That's what the money was for. I talked about it the last couple nights. I'm not going to blow it down your throat again, okay? I'm not going to regurgitate this story. It's not worth it. But you know who these people are up here. Yeah, just what a bunch of they are, okay? All right, so there's this incredibly big sinkhole now that appeared in Mexico. And it's kind of swallowing a whole farm. Now, I'm not sure the location exactly, but I know about underground. Dumbs and all this stuff, right? Wonder if that has anything to do with it. Just out of curiosity. I mean, I've seen this, and I know they're blowing things, they're filling them, they're filling them with water, they're doing all this crazy stuff underground, destroying structures and integrities and so forth. Does the possibility exist that really is going on here that we're seeing evidence of something that had occurred? Keep in mind, follow that. It could be of interest. It really could. All right, believe in the unbelievable, as I always say. Now we can see proof. Ding. Oh, Dave Glovin. He picked now of all times. Thank you, Dave. Go away, Dave. I wish you all the best in what you're doing. Please, not now. Okay, so these. I already almost forgot where I was. Isn't that incredible? So the quantum microscopes. It's amazing. This is bad for Trump. Okay, hold on. I'm getting a special notification now for somebody else. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, okay. Old story, know about it. Okay. Basically, the DOJ is, a probing report on Trump and subpoenas and so forth for the Democrats. And basically, what they want to do is arrest Trump. We know about it. I've talked about it for days. News new to some. I'm sorry. I knew about it. I actually mentioned it. But again, thanks, Dave. Now just stay calm, my brother, from a different mother somewhere. Just go to that mother, okay? Anyway, so these quantum microscopes, they're seeing the unbelievable in them. They really, really are. They're also, with these quantum microscopes now, they're going to make a whole different statement and x-rays and so forth. They'll be able to see right into the cell, to the nucleus of it, to where the origins of things like with cancer, where exactly the main pinpoint areas. Not like well, we know it's here, let's do this whole area. They will be able to go to that one particular teeny spot and be able to, like, I guess, radiate it or what they'll do. But not only that, I'll give you a different comparison too. All right. Has everybody heard about the new third generation night visions? Well, they're incredible, and they really are. Got to have some money to have them. But if you like watching the skies, these are a must-have if you can afford to. Some people have first generation and so forth. You can hear this, right? The man doesn't know when to quit. He just doesn't know. I'm going to have to address that different. I should have just kept him on. What was it? What do you call, like, when you mute somebody? I had him muted there for a while. Anyway, good guy. But, anyway, let's get back to this quantum microscope thing. Jesus. I might just shut that off, and you'll have to forgive me if I don't interact. I mean, please. It is what it is. I mean, I get like 100 1-minute messages a day from this person. And I know, I don't want to say too much because I feel bad for him in a good way, but bad. But it's overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. Every sentence says the same thing, and it goes for 10-minute, 1-minute sentences. David, please, if you hear me, relax, man. Do your meds, do whatever's necessary. Chill, please, my brother. Okay. Anyway, to the quantum microscope. Back to that again. I'll try. And it's hilarious in a way if you really think about this. I have tried to do a couple shows with him. Then he calls me an expert. I about spit the coffee out of my mouth when he did it. I don't feel I'm an expert. I just feel like do a lot of work to give information. I write to a lot of people. People give me some things. So I'll just say that. I try to put things together. But, all right, getting back, though, to the whole thing of that. What they're able to see now is going to be phenomenal. And they go into a bunch of narratives. It would take a lengthy amount of time to explain it all. But on the medical side that I want to stick to is how they will be able to probably direct treatments of cancer, which, I mean, that there is rock stardom in itself. Now, as they use this in larger scopes to look into the universe and so forth like that, they kind of see on the same type of element as I was explaining to you how third generation works. It gives you a different tint view. It takes you into like a different dimension, and you can actually see different things in those things if you have ever checked those out. All right, so I'm not going to stay much longer on that. I just thought for health purposes, maybe this will go somewhere and it won't cost $10,000 for it to be used. I mean, healthcare is just crazy, and the offsets of your co-pays, etc. Yeah, just nuts. So how far will Biden go? I got a lot to say on that tonight, but the push and the power and the play. Let's face it. That push is like, General Flynn, Mayor Giuliani, laptops, drugs, guns, dumpsters, Trump, Flynn, and again, Mayor Giuliani. Everything that was sent to me. Dave, hi, I see you're in. I didn't realize you were alive either. You're alive, dude. My brother, he's alive. Yeah, I am alive, Dave. Okay, that's no big deal. Let it go. Let's not talk. At least not right now. So the reason I bring this up is because it makes you wonder. Hmm. I guess at some point, maybe it will come back. I don't know if you guys see me or not. It's staying shut down. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm going to try to reset it here and see what happens. I don't know if you guys are with me on one camera and not on the other one. I just don't know. It's saying it's not live. Oh, son of a bitch. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm live on one, though. That's really weird. I don't know how to judge this right now. Hmm. Beth, can you hear me? Text me. Well, never mind. I'll do it a different way. I'm going to have to probe this night the way it's going. I'm going to have to do this different. Do this different. Hold on. Hello, people behind the glass. Am I on or am I dead?
Shit, I just stepped on a dog. Hey, Michael, you're on.
I'm on. Okay, because I'm being told on two. Okay. And you're on too, live. You're on.
Yes, hi, everybody.
All right.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me do something here because you never get brought in. And I don't like to do that to people. But check it out. So I went totally dead on one side. Okay. Have you heard me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, cool. I'm going to do something, everybody. Well, I thought I was going to. No, I'm going to get something together here. I'm going to keep you live with me. You'll be able to monitor because if I'm going to lose this, there's no sense in me sitting talking to myself. You know what I mean?
Got it.
This is just freaking crazy. I don't know. Maybe Dave tried.
Let me share it because I wasn't even in the room when you started flashing.
Well, maybe Dave did something. I don't know. Let's not worry about that. Anyway, I've told them live. Hello again, people. Hello, hello. Okay. So I'm like waving out there. It'll be 20 seconds. You should see it. Are you following it all, Beth? Okay, cool. All right, so we have Beth behind the glass on, and I connected live with her this way because it's easier. So you'll be hearing her voice. She'll probably give some commentary with me tonight. I'm just gonna have this young lady on because she's been with me for so long, and she knows so much. She probably knows more than me about what's going on in the world, but she just chooses to stay behind in reality somewhere and try to accept that. So anyway, where the hell was Michael again? This whole night's falling apart in ways, people. Please forgive me. Really though, I had two cameras go out and tell me I'm dead, and that's what occurred. The main processor kept telling me I was live. So I don't know why that's happening or why, but it did. All right, so let's go to this. Is Soros
Internet, Michael.
It could be. Is Soros really dead? I don't
Can't
know.
pick you up on my computer.
Okay. Okay, turn down your volume. You'll give me an echo. You're going to hear me direct now, so you won't need your volume. What happens when there's a back? It's a feedback. Okay, turn your volume down.
Trying.
I can still hear you. Anyway, people, I'm sorry. That's technical shit, and we all go through it. So here we are. We're going to try this again before everybody leaves the room. Because I don't know who's in the room at this point, and it doesn't matter, but it matters. So this thing about Soros started throwing up
I can hear you.
in the middle of the night. And reports were to come. Reports came out.
Where?
Reports came out across a lot of the platforms. Okay. I still hear the voice coming through. I know when it's happening because my computer's telling me that it's getting a feedback, a static. Okay. All right. I don't know if that's even going to work. All right. Maybe I should just upload tonight.
No, you're fine.
It's interrupting the feed. I'm getting a reverb through the feeder.
Well, then get me off of here because you're live.
You can stay on and work with me if you like.
I can do that.
You need to turn the volume completely down.
Then I can't hear you.
You can't hear me talking to you.
I can hear you talking, but now I can hear you, but you're telling me to turn my volume down.
Try it. Unbelievable.
If I turn it down too low, I can't hear you. Am I echoing back now?
I don't know why you can't hear me. I'm talking right into your dual speaker.
I'm on my phone.
I know what you're on. I have my. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm signing out, man. Thank you. Incredible, people. All right, so basically, I had this wired into the microphone, which means she should have heard me clearly just by my voice because I was talking right into the microphone. Anyway, it didn't work. I would have loved to have her on. She deserves to be on. Everybody deserves to know who she is and talk to her. We'll work that out possibly for another day. So where do I go from here when so many errors have come up? Anybody have any suggestions? What do you do? It's almost like throw the hat in, you know? Or throw the mask into the fire. Maybe that's a better way. Or have a cigarette. So a lot of kinks in the PA unemployment system still. Okay, people haven't gotten checks here for 14 months or 13, 14 months since it's all started. Although they are switching over and have to a new system, they're claiming 160,000 people now have finally started getting payments into their banking system if it was by direct deposit. If you chose other methods, in case anybody in PA is listening to this, I thought I'd bring that up for you. Your money should be coming. It was all over the news today. If you didn't see it, I caught bits and pieces all over the place, so I know it's real. It's factors. Okay, MPA. Let's go to this and the executive powers and so forth. I still been waiting for Doug to get back and make it a second announcement. I haven't heard anything today. But what I do know, there was a change with the executive powers and so forth that was going on. The final vote for final freedoms and so forth that we were fighting in Pennsylvania, and we did do that. So, in doing that, it pushed the narrative by vote. People voted. It was unanimous that the voters said take the executive orders away from the governor here, and that had happened. And immediately he followed up with 90 more days. 90 more days of issues, meaning lockdown, partial lockdowns, so forth. Nobody's listening to any what he's goddamn saying, but that's the truth of it. So basically, from the legal aspects of it all, everybody up at the House in Pennsylvania got together, and because he did that, they pushed it again, putting the vote, all the evidence, etc., etc. We win again, 30-20. But there was a couple things and articles that need to be put in. Even though it was won, they forgot to highlight when we won. Basically meaning, did it start effective immediately, or is it going to go the full 90 days of this new pressurized lockdown so-called system thing that they put into effect? And the messages just won't quit tonight. It's amazing. Okay, so that we're dealing with here in Pennsylvania. And again, now with even what has coming into the light with all this, well, the governor, who's he going to go to? You got Biden out of the country. You got Harris out of the country. You kind of like have Pelosi in charge, just not being said. But you can look under that dual unoccupied law. There is a dual unoccupied law. Once both are out of the United States, thank you, April. I did look it up. It does go back to the speaker. If something would happen to those two now that they're right now out of here, and wouldn't guess who's the president? Yeah, that's how that would kind of work. Although there's a lot of other language in it, but I don't know, and it was something strange to think about. And April brought it up to me, and I was like, wow, I got to look into that. And that's what I found out. But again, there's a lot of writing involved. There truly is a lot of writing involved. So I would leave it up to a professional law person. You got people out there with great credibility. Don't think that's going to happen, but who knows? Biden might, knock Joe's lights out or something. Maybe Joe won't come back. He says he didn't want to come back to America. I can understand why at this point. I mean, run for your life, Joe. You're going to pay one way or another, which, is pretty odd, too, because there's a lot of news coming out about him, Pence, and Pence is pretty freaking dirty. I'm going to do a story on it next week, but I got to tell you something right now. He's not the man anybody thought he was. And there is paperwork to prove it and back it up. Yep, he has been involved in all the things that you've been hearing about. He has certainly been involved. Same with Biden. And there's been testimony to that fact on Biden. There's also some people that in the same ways. But again, it hasn't been in any courts or anything yet. Paperwork is being held by certain people. And I do believe there's going to be a process. Pence, not a joke. Not a joke. He's going to be in a world of shit. It'll come out. You all say you heard it from me at some point. I know you will. And I got more to tell you. I do. I got about 40 pages worth of little things that I dug out to tell you guys about. So anyway, yeah. I hope that we can stay online now and everything goes a little bit more of with an easier flow and so forth. So there's something called biogen. I don't know if anybody's heard of biogen. Anybody know what that is? Okay. Well, basically, this is a drug for Alzheimer's. And they have been trying to push this new approved drug, which they got it through, with many in dismay on the board and upset with the FDA for doing it. And now 3 members have walked off because they do not approve. They didn't back it, but they couldn't win. I guess it's all by vote. I don't know exactly how that works there, to be honest with you. I'd have to look into that a little further. But this new Biogen Alzheimer's drug, it's said to be the worst approval in history. So there is something new. What does it do? I don't know. I'm hoping for a lot of the facts to leak out, step out, fall out. However they come to us, we'll take them because it's all important. It really is. It just really is. All right. So that said, just bringing you up on a couple things there that I thought were kind of important. The kinks in the unemployment and so forth. Let me do something about this. Evidently, somebody's in heat or something. I don't know. I have no clue. Anyway, all right. So I don't even know. I have no clue who's trying to get me. Well, in a way, I do, but I'm with you guys. I devote myself to what I do for you, and that will come first because it's love, family, children, and our war that needs one first. Everybody else should be a big enough adult to take care of their things so I can get to them. And it's nothing pressing. It's nothing pressing. Unbelievable. Just keeps coming. Just keeps coming. So is Joe's wife in charge? And this study, Joe studied for what, three, 3 weeks or so. He should be very ready for everything going down. I don't know if they're going to release all the videos of everything, of what he talks about, what he says, his mistakes, and so forth. But I mean, I just have to bring that up. Maybe he had 14 months to get ready. I don't know. Yeah, so Joe did that, and she said that. It just makes you wonder who the hell's really running the presidency. And now everybody's in disrepair tonight. Dave, you need to slow up, relax, and stop, and don't bother Beth. And this is getting really weird here, man. I told you I can see out of the side of my peripheral vision. It's incredible. I don't know what the hell's going on. You know how they say when your phone's getting blown up? I think I should I should take it outside and use one of my fancy guns on this thing right about now, honestly. All right, so again, bringing up what I did about them when they're out of town and so forth. Keep that in mind. You know how some of this shit can go. But yeah, so I don't know. It just looked really odd. Joe's wife said a lot, and then they're releasing pictures like she's sitting in the White House or something doing all the work for Joe or paperwork. Could it be true? Oh, going live sometimes could be the hardest thing in the world. I love to have you guys in. I really, I have no issue with that at all. None at all. But it can be difficult. It can be hard, you know. So anyway, all right. In 2015, I found out Fauci actually had some type of hush hush deal with Moderna. Also, it was for a big contract for some type of vaccine. The information that I got didn't name what the vaccine was for, but what have we needed vaccines for? That makes you wonder now. Another new thing dropping out. Maybe it was through emails and came out later, or just it didn't get to me. But it is said that in 2015, and it was in partnership with Fauci and the NIAID, whatever they call that. You get where I'm coming from, I hope. But more dirt there. And that's just how that works. And then again, I gotta bring this up one more time. I don't know because it was sent to me this way. His source really no. Look, I'm only giving to you what I saw, and it looked relevant enough to say, hey, let's check this out. As I had even posted it. Is this true? I don't know 100% if he is. If he's dead, he's dead. You know, we know why, more likely. We know what brought it on. If it wasn't natural causes, it was by his actions that he did. And that's how things like that work. That's just how they work. Now, more cardiac heart issues for the children are coming around. And I seen videos today where they were giving this contaminant to kids 10, 5 years old. I mean, really, they're going into all age groups, going out of country. We have 500 million doses here now. that Biden decide to donate out to other countries. Why? Because we won't take it. We're smart enough not to, of course. And that's the way we should be. We should definitely be smart enough for that. So, what they're looking at, though, is some facts, data, and figures. They're saying that there's expected to be in 150,000 young males more cases of this heart issue, irritation, enlargement that comes on after they get this vaccination and so forth. 150,000 more cases are to be expected. That blows me away, man. That blows me away because we know where we're at in this. And I'm going to get to where I think I figured out where Trump is with all that. I think it's important. And I think it makes perfect sense. It has to in war. It has to be in war. It has to mean something like this. So I'm going to get to it. But any lie on that was given was to push Trump back from day one. I think we can all say that, And that's where I'm going to go in my narrative in a minute here. In a minute. Just because it's going to be lengthy like he is in a way. But I'll try to do it as short and sweet by picking out certain things that I wrote down. I'll be reading from and giving it to you. Also, this Lightfoot. Everyone knows about Lightfoot, right? She wants to open first. She wants to be the first one to open. Pennsylvania, actually, by law, won yesterday. We were the first one, but I don't know the final. Was it for an immediate or not? It hasn't been released yet. I haven't gotten it. So I don't know. Maybe Doug's hiding from us right now. Maybe it didn't work yet. But she wants to be the first to open all the way around. To me, it's like, hey, I want to be important. It's part of her agenda now, maybe to make up for all the narratives of only wanting to hire people of color, interview people of color. And now she wants to get this city thriving again. I guess because she's been such an embarrassment on everything that she's done, to be honest with you. Now, Florida, on the other hand, they keep fighting for everything. They're fighting for the cruise ships and just everything. And that was a win-win, too, where, they're going to be able to operate. But Florida's fighting on much more than that and against all the corrupt narratives and the teachings in schools. So he's putting a stop to it. I believe it's already been signed. I mean, he's just a rock star with rock star people. When you have a good, strong side, and he does, he built a crew of numbers. He can get these things easily put through. He's not going to tolerate bullshit that they're trying to do in all the other cities and states of all the other states, period, everywhere in the country of the United States. And I hope other people follow him. Fight it the best you can. I said even yesterday, I talked to everybody about that for a little bit. And, we need to stay strong in this for the kids. Their narrative is just sickening, Be less white, be more transgender, don't like your own color, your skin. Come on. It needs to be stopped. It's criminal. It is criminal towards the children. This is not morals as we know. And again, this guy's a rock star down in Florida, and he is setting a pathway across the United States for everybody. I mean, he just is. Okay, China's playing on the dark side here. Now, you've seen things, ancient things. I know everybody must have at some point in time, where, you've seen the glyphs off the walls, whether they were paintings or carvings, animal heads on top of bodies of men and so forth, dog men and just variations, okay? Well, they're actually playing now, and they were able to keep, I believe they said it as an embryo, alive for 20 days, where they saw the development of a human to a monkey. Now, the Germans tried to do this years ago. People wanted this guy dead. But the Germans allowed that to take place for a while. And I don't know all the outcome of that, but if you look into history, I don't remember it all, but I do know this story. I know it's real. I know the people. I could see them in my head. It's one of those kind of things. But they actually succeeded with this. And pretty weird. But let me say this to you. If you think that's weird, the United States has been involved in the same shit. Without a doubt. How far are us in between? That's all part of the deep state and some of the programs that I was mentioning last night. Well, no, I'm sorry. It was yesterday morning Well, yeah, tonight's night, Friday night. Wow, this must be the most disastrous evening I've had in a while. Just incredibly crazy. Incredibly crazy. But that's okay. That's okay. You guys are going to dig it. You can all laugh at me or love me, hate me, laugh at me. I don't even care. But yeah, they're doing this. They're mixing DNAs with humanoids, humans, and human sperm. And they're trying to create what I call oddities. And there are oddities in the world. There are places that sell oddities of very skeptical kind of like things in the world. Or, Ripley, believe it or not, he collected them as well and put them in showcases. And in some cases, they man made things. A lot of it was hoax. But you paid a dime to go in and check this thing out behind the curtain and came out, oh, it was a two-headed bear, and so forth. All right, but these guys are doing this shit. They really are. All right, mysteries also. It's real mysterious in Washington that they're getting submerges of water coming up in the streets, flooding basements, the big buildings, and so forth. And again, the reason I was telling you about the Mexico issue and, the big, huge sinkhole that has occurred, now Washington, where we were told and where we understand they were flooding all these tunnels and destroying them they no longer going to exist. They're going to be down there, but they're going to be down there and forgotten about, filled with water so people can't go down in them, and none of this HST and HT and CT and everything cannot no longer ever exist again. So now the water, if in case this is real, and that was the issue, because, reports are reports on the internet anymore. We can't rely on all of them without a doubt. But it was coming up not with such force like a broken pipe. That's the weird part. Broken pipes usually send out a pretty good flow of water. They deteriorate the ground like a pressure washer. The more you fire at it, the more it'll. Well, that wasn't happening. It was just submerging up gracefully, ever so gracefully, and flooding out many buildings in one Washington area. So keep that in mind. That could just be the good people doing their jobs down there in these tunnels. And let's hope that that's what it is. So we know we're getting some cure that way. Now, let's talk a little bit, maybe 10 minutes. I like 10. Something about 10. Okay? There's something about 10. So you need to know this. I'm going to talk to it, like I said, for about 10 minutes. Open, close, love and war, all these narratives and verse narratives and, one hand, kill America. The other one, you got to save it. That's the plan. Well, it started out bad. As soon as Trump took stage and started to go through the election process to be mayor, president, Mr. President, excuse me. Yeah, I guess I've been thinking about Giuliani too much here, what he's going through and so forth, and the leaks that came out there too. All right, so you have all these issues, and the reason I'm going here with this a little bit is because I've been fascinated about this push of the vax. And then I started to go after and really look and dig deep and deep and deep. Okay, and I really did. And in between my life and days gone by, I think I finally come conclusively in some way of at least a narrative of a possibility. Like he told Hillary up on stage that night, if it was up to me, you'd be in jail. It's because of the pushbacks that immediately came upon his announcement. The fight started then. It continued. We saw much happen. And, we saw war in many ways, and fights. Everything that President Trump did was an issue. He wanted the wall, couldn't get the wall, was a fight there. Every time he wanted good, the opposition was to destroy his plan. Then you had the investigations. The Mueller investigation, Russia. Let's fight him. Let's get him impeached. And then Trump would fight back and he would do more and cure more for the American people. Well, when they finally hit with the COVID, when that happened, wherever in his mind he was and how soon before he knew about all this, including possibly that 2015 document where Fauci was already working on a vaccine, could possibly be all part of this. Well, then Trump fights back. Okay, you're coming after me. I got this. You're shutting down America. I need a plan. So here's Trump's plan. I have to save America. Okay? So his plan was to save it. What's he do? He sends the military out, puts a special herd of like 35,000 troops together, and sends them on a warpath against the dark, against the 1%, against the criminals, the Khazar, everybody involved in this global takeover. And they go at it strong. That was the beginning of part of the war. Then Trump makes it walk down, as I said, he comes down now, which is known as like BLM Plaza or some bullshit, and stands in front of the church and holds up the Bible, and he wages war against them. He calls out them to the world that he won't nail them, he won't bow to them, he won't agree with them, and he will fight them. How does he fight them? Didn't take him long to get America to go back to work, did he? We were shut down. You think about this. This is the important key thing that I came up with that I think is very plausible. And I think really it's where we are at. So this vaccination comes up like miraculously, like bam. And the minute that happened, you go back and you check job statuses and unemployment and watch how fast America started becoming great again. And he was still in office. He was still being a success. That was his fight back. That's why he tells you every move that he makes up through what points, places, and times he interacted with them. That was his interaction periods to them, against them. And what he keeps telling us, and I think he needs us to hear this because we're weak in the air at times, and even I, was he's expressing to us, all of us, to go listen to him 100 times if you have to. Match dates and times if you know what they are, what he's referring to. He pretty much tells you in ways. That's where I think we are. The importance of the vaccination and love and in war, there's casualties. I think he hoped for the best he could. And, you know, when these pharma companies who were paid billions and billions of dollars to do this, or may have already had it done, check the documents with Fauci, they're out there and I have them. I can also ship them over to you. So you have that. Trump won. Trump immediately won. As soon as the vaccination happened, he won. Now, what happened to that vaccination is what's in question now. Did the vaccination change? I'm not the only one bringing that part and point up. Why is it so important for them to get to their 70%? Okay, my thought is truly this. There could have been tamperment within it. As strong as this dark side is, they are powerful. Trump himself said, and I had that posted once upon a time, where he said it right out loud. Some people want me basically dead. They're rich, they're powerful, they're the elites, and you may not see me for a while. I may have to kind of go, get it? Where's he been? Exactly. So again, everything he's explained to us has been his plan. You want the best when you give billions of dollars to pharma, but pharma's part of our enemy here, and I think Trump knows that. The point is, though, you know, people are going to be weak and decide if they want it or if they don't want it, if this will cure them, if it will protect them. What I don't get out of all this, if it comes through your lung and they're giving you a shot at something that goes into your blood, how does that protect? You get it? It's two separate case issues. It comes through here into your lungs, causes infection where most damage occurs. All right? But yet they're giving you this here. Well, again, President Trump must have been advised very poorly by Fauci and an agenda of a plan of a pandemic. And it was never the plan of a successful virus. It was the plan of how they could control this. They could let Trump think whatever he wants. So then what's the next fight? The next fight is the election. Okay? If we get Trump out of office, we can vaccinate these people and we can continue in our New Deal, our New World Order plan. Keep that plan, Georgia Guidestones, coming. So then Trump's back out again and has more state a complete standstill. There was a standstill, which would still, if we had to wait 2 to 3 years, as they initially mostly all wanted to see happen, where would we be in the United States right now, economically? We would be a total failure, and we are already still that. But we have a working financial system that's partially curing the issue of what had occurred. So, in my mind, what we actually have here was a defense mechanism. Trump needed it. He paid dearly for it. He was in a position to be able to. That was part of the stimulus to make sure that that could happen. And in his plan, where he would protect us. That's the best way I can say it to everybody. So if you go back, you listen to his last, when he was down in North Carolina just recently, listen to his speech, follow the narrative of his speech all the way up through how he lays it out, cross-reference everything, and you'll see where I'm at. It's been a chess move to a chess move all the way up till now. And we're still fighting a battle. It's still going on. It's not going to get crazy better real fast, most definitely on that part. But let's face it, by November 10th, 2020, he already had warp said, listen to General Flynn. It may enlighten you a little bit more and give you a little bit more of understanding to the complexity and depth of what this is. It's biblical, it states, and more representation of the flag, such as 4-5, meaning 4 to 5 minutes, 45 minutes. So the easiest way for me to tell you is isolate that pinpoint part. The immediate shutdown when it did happen, when Trump had to close the borders, when Trump had to declare a national emergency, and shut the world down basically with just essentials and gave the governors the rule of power there, which then I don't think he actually foresaw coming because he tried to defend that part, which was the election, the integrity of the election part, which there was a little bit of a failure there. But we already know him knowing and trying to stop to keep registered voters and everything perfectly good in the system of the elections. We couldn't stop it all. And that's why now we're in this fight and we see what's going on. And Trump already was in the position to monitor it from a different position. And he wanted and he knew if it was to happen this way, his best way to fight back would be to do it this way and let them all execute themselves. And that's basically what they're all doing. Their plan is done. It's just gone totally bad. The virus is a done thing. It's a lie. We're finding this out. We got the emails. We got Fauci who lies. He's the most wanted man in Washington, D.C., if not around the world. And you better believe people want to hang him. You better believe people are very, very angry and have every right to be. Believe me, I want to watch what I say here, but I get everybody's feelings. I really do. And, nothing would be painful enough that you could do to a man for what he did to most of the men and women of this country. And he's responsible for all that blood on his hands. And I'm sure he'll pay his price. So, yeah, that was the big thing. I was stuck on that part, but I'm not no more. I really believe that was part of the mechanism of the plan. Even if he was getting vitamin B shots, the world knew that they could open, and they went by his word, and it started to reopen right there. We all suffered that closure. Remember that. We all suffered that closure. But the minute the allowable openings were open, every state they could open, and some stood out proudly and with much more promise. We know who they are. They continued, and they continued strongly. So that's where I was at with that. Catching up into that point, but if you check everything, cross-reference it again. Don't want to keep that. But that's where I was at with it. It makes perfect sense. It was all about a battle. and he kept the economy moving. It never totally failed. He did reopen. He reopened it. Nobody else did. They came in and they destroyed it. That was the narrative of change. That's where we get back to that point. They knew they failed. They get into office. What do they do now? Trump beat their asses up and down. They illegally get in there, which we're going to find out that that's 100% unequivocally. That's all. That's a cakewalk true. We know it's true. Then where are we? We're fighting a battle with all the executive orders. The only ways they could fight back to try to bring the country back to ruins. Part 2. Follow me? Part 1 failed. Part 1 failed. Trump beat them. Beat them at their own game with this virus, with this hoax. Okay? Many things have happened in between. Many things that one day we're going to find out. But I guarantee you that's where we're at with that. All right. Disclosure. I want to give this out there to some people who I know listen to this. Rendlesham Forest. All right. December 26th. They call it the Christmas UFOs. The 8th has happened for a couple nights. They were visited in 1980. Suffolk, England. Got this crazy itch on my kneecap. Okay, on a U.S. base, Air Force base, over in England, that we basically worked with them and whatnot. And soldiers seen this. There was credible witnesses. There was testimonies, reports, also recordings on little recording machines. There were military radars that picked up on these. There was the lights were seen. They went out. They were able to walk around and visualize, see this thing. They saw markings all over it. Somebody drew them, wrote them down. I think it's really cool to look into. It's called these. In some cases, they call it the UFO, Christmas UFO. One of the elites of the stories where there is very much proof. And when you have very concrete, strong proof from military people in positions in the military with reports and everything to back it up, it's worthwhile looking into. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. All right. So, yeah, wasn't tonight like kind of a disaster for me? I think you can all agree to that. I hope I got away with it. I might look back one day and say, I'm going to slip that out and re-edit a new take on that whole thing. I don't know. Anyway, do you get that narrative where I was coming from with the vax, how that fits in there, and why he's protecting it? To me, that's what it is. He was trying to show them more power, and that's why they went to the darkest side that they could go in to try to destruct America as they are now. And we can only hope now, with more to come, that this election things and the lies, Fauci and so forth, Gates, and Gates. Um, and then you have nightmares go. I don't know what happened. One camera goes out, the other one goes out. Maybe I have a haunting going on beside me. I don't know. I'll deal with it. I like being by myself. That's okay. There is something I did want to bring up a little bit more on some letters where Fauci and Zuckerberg also were working hand in hand. And where is this? Election manipulations and COVID and put out, and paying people to do little tasks and so forth. I don't know who ran the money, but if I was there, I'd have took most of it and ran on. I would have. They'd have been looking for my butt. That can only hide so deep, right? Can only hide so deep when they're that strong, though. All right, so the climate controls, we're seeing where that's going, and the element of it's going to get the severity is going to get so bad, the possible lockdowns will be upon us, and so forth. I saw them narratives out there, and I told you climate was going to be a big, major issue. I said to expect the unexpected. Maybe this is sharing, and I even shared it. Please check it out on Taking Back America. April, welcome to the global army of Donald J. Trump as an administrator. I got some more groups that I'll share to you, and also the best that I could on how I tried to explain it to you. Please forgive me where my brain went there for a little bit. Nothing seemed to want to take place and work, and I don't quite understand that. But if you're on a phone with somebody, I don't know how they can't hear you. That's what we have speakerphones for. If one speaker's on and yours is up to the air, you're going to hear it, right? Anyway, I wish it would have worked for Beth. She posts a lot of good things. She knows a lot of good things. She sends me things also. She really does. And I don't want to ever leave anybody out. Again, you have my apologies on tonight. I hope some of the news of the day kind of like you find good for you, credible. But as far as the Trump thing, I think that was the hardest thing to get across to make people get. I hope I explained it right to you guys. But I'm going to have to take care of a couple things and cut out. Life, 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 life. Lies, 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 yeah. So what's everybody going to do tonight? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish my coffee and figure out a game plan, because that's all I got left there. I don't know if anybody's online, but whoever is, if you stayed this long, thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Please listen to Trump. Please listen to how it was executed. Put the dates and times together in your mind. I'm not going to say he's for this vaccine at all right now, or if there were any changes. And I know right now we're looking into all that. These are parts that are being looked into as far as what are in these bottles, in these vials, or whatever they call those little things. You know what they are. Let's see where that goes and pans out. But yeah, in war, there's going to be complications. It's sad, but the truth of the matter is, Trump didn't do it. It was the handling of the government through Fauci's hands on how to handle it and where to put these people and how to isolate them. That was the issue. Trump tried to save every damn one of them. He sent ships up and down the coast. He built portable hospitals out in parking lots. He did everything under God's green earth not to allow a death to occur. And as I showed you one of the other videos that I brought back up that Trump shared, even with the media, the deplorables, the fake news, and the world, of how everybody agreed with the work and job he was doing. So Trump wasn't the bad guy. The vaccine was supposed to be a good thing. But I think that was compromised. I really do. But what wasn't compromised was the fact that even though he's not in office, even though the United States stayed open, he was victorious there, but not done. Not by any means. Okay, guys, have a great night. I'm going to look over this, man. And again, if you see a second upload on this or something, it's probably because it was just so crazy. And I might really redo that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Peace out, brothers and sisters. Don't judge me. I won't judge you. This is Michael Anthony from 10 O'Clock Talks. Weekend review. See you next Friday live. Take care.